I was thinking maybe we should do a drunken one sometime.
Oh, for a really bad movie that we know is just going to be.
I'm telling you, we do Willy's Wonderland.
I'd get loaded for Willy's Wonderland. That was a weird sentence.
You gotta keep that in. Just keep that recording. Send that to me because I want it as my text tone.
Okay.
I'd get loaded for Willy's Wonderland.
I don't know where that came from.
I'd get loaded for Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, that is funny.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Keeping It Real review. This week it's our spoiler-heavy review of Mortal Kombat! As always, I'm James, joined by Jack, Calvin, and Reese. Usually, before we review one of these, we have a sense of what one of us thinks, because we usually talk about it beforehand, but none of us. I think we all watched this last night, didn't we?
Yeah.
I watched it.
Not a word was said, so
not a peep.
I really cannot wait to hear what you all thought of this. Before we get started, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Keeping It Real UK. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple for new episodes on Mondays and Wednesdays. That out of the way. Reese, I want to come to you first. Brief thoughts on Mortal Kombat, and then we'll get into the good stuff.
Right. I looked at it like this. I was going to compare it to other video game movies.
How did it hold up?
I think compared to other video game movies, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Sick.
It wasn't sick, but it wasn't shit.
Oh, save your rating to the end, Reese. Save your rating to the end.
No, it was, you know what? I thought I was going to be like, I thought it was going to be like a slog to watch, but actually it was, I know we don't want to use the word a lot, but it was fun. But a Mortal Kombat film's got to kind of be fun, doesn't it? Because otherwise what else you got?
This was fun. I was, none of us really like Godzilla versus Kong. I wanted that to be fun. It just didn't work for me. This was fun.
There was a few things that I was like, that I'll get into in a bit, but I think overall it was pretty good.
Pretty good. Jack?
So before I watched this, I thought it was going to be absolute unwatchable bilge.
Bilge.
Yeah.
That often.
Jack's word of the day for today.
Yeah. I wrote it on my hand.
He had that written down.
Yeah. Say bilge somehow. But it was fine. It was a fine picture.
It was a fine picture. Like Nomadland. It was fine.
Yeah, it was fun. I hate using that word to excuse shit films, but it was fun. I think I would have enjoyed it more if I was more familiar with the characters. Like, I've played some of the games, but like a few characters, like a few of them popped up, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, like he was sick in the games.
I did a lot of Googling watching this film.
I was saying, I had it up on Letterboxd, and I was like, who the fuck? Oh, Cabal. Yeah, I thought it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It was fun. I did have some gripes.
We'll get into them.
Save that for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, Calvin?
To be honest, I actually didn't mind this film at all.
Hey!
I'd say I'm obviously, like Jack said, just a casual player of the games. I haven't played all of them. I can't remember a lot from them. I'm by no means a massive fan of the franchise. But even as I only knew a couple of characters, but I was still able to understand everything that was going on, even though there were a few exposition dumps. They did a really good job at not making this like an incomprehensible mess, which it so could have been. And I think they should be commended for that, because I think that's such a hard achievement with these sort of things, trying to cram all this stuff and backstory into literally less than a 2-hour film. It is clunky in parts, but it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually by no means a good film, and most of my issues with it do come from just sort of the really clunky dialogue. Some of the actors' performances were really just awful, but then some of them,
Blade.
and Raiden the actor felt a little bit like he was bored.
Yeah, I thought Raiden was miscast. Yeah.
All the other No, all the other actors.
Liu Kang was
seemed to really-
great.
Oh, he was
Yeah, they
awful.
seem-
Oh my god.
They seem to really
I like Ludi
embody and really go into what it was. Like they really felt tied to their roles. Like they really went with it. And I think most of them did a great job. And they seem really committed.
Yeah, everyone seemed to like get it. Everyone seemed to get what they were making. No one took it too seriously.
Yeah, but that's what I like. If you can go like this sort of, I still think there's room. It's weird to say, but I think there's potential for it to be an actually good film.
Yeah,
I'll go into it in a bit, but I feel like it was quite watchable. All of the actors seem to get involved in their like sort of silly characters. The action set pieces were so well choreographed, and I liked that it wasn't like a CGI fest. Like obviously filmmakers put a lot of effort into it by actually sort of showing off sort of different martial arts, and there was actually people having real fights. Yeah, and I feel like the film really benefited from having that.
Yeah, I'm not massive on Mortal Kombat. I somehow knew a lot more than I realized I did. But yeah, with Mortal Kombat, because there has been, they're on 11 games now, aren't they? There is a lot of lore and a lot of backstory. They do, because the premise of this is you have to win 10 Mortal Kombats, and then your realm can legally or lawfully invade another realm. So we come in on the 10th or before the 10th even, because surprisingly, there is no Mortal Kombat in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. I can see why people wouldn't like that, but
so it turns out Shang Tsung is getting his warriors from Outworld and coming to Earth to take out the competition before the tournament even begins. And I thought that was an interesting enough idea to like for a reboot of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
it also throws you right in, really.
It also serves to have a lot of it on Earth as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't really know where the Mortal Kombat tournament is held, but I imagine not. I can't imagine Earth is hosting this year.
I think from what I read, it's like held in the different worlds.
Mortal Kombat's coming home.
Yeah,
every year.
Yeah, maybe that would have been a bit too much for audiences, but I would have liked to seen the tournament take place, and I feel like a lot of fans of it might be let down by that, but to me it was fine the way it was.
We're still going to get the same action either way, really, aren't we? And then because they have got plans for future movies. I know Joe Taslim, who plays Sub-Zero, said he signed on for 4 more, or 4 in total maybe. So if this one does well, which I hope it does, because there is potential here for good franchises. Easily. What I wanted from this movie was just I wanted cheesy lines and well-performed action. And I was, before going into it, before the trailer came out, even because I was impressed by that trailer, I was worried that it was just going to be a, over-the-top CGI fest, but there was a really good incorporation of CG and sci-fi fantasy elements with the grounded martial arts. And
if they felt committed to the project, which
I
think sometimes
it helps that you get performers who are going to commit to the stunt work and stuff as well.
I think sometimes they focus more on the martial arts than maybe the acting. To me, like
that's fine.
I was fine with that for Mortal Kombat.
But
I'm fine with that.
I feel like it's a fighting movie, but like, come on, the acting can still be decent, can it? Like,
I think
one that really stood out to me is this.
I thought
awful.
I know you said
Raiden being slightly miscast.
Liu Kang was awful.
I like Liu Kang.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was on purpose that he was kind of like always very intense and kind of over the top.
I mean, Liu Kang is kind of intense and over the top.
He brought it.
I think it was more his movements. He was too much with all his like moving about and like.
Well, he can throw fireballs, Reese.
Yeah, but that was fine. But like there'd be bits like there was a weird bit where he did like a weird bow thing, and I was like, that
was the weird bit.
But he bowed.
No, they did.
The first thing he does is hurl a fireball from his hands.
No, but I expect that. But there's like a bit.
You don't expect bowing. I don't want bowing.
He did too much. When he
this is very formal.
Like that bit where the main character tries to walk into a room and like he sticks his whole arm just like He could have just
Yeah.
been like, hold on a sec, like stand there, but he like fucking swung out at him with his arm.
Yeah.
Like, chill out.
Yeah, I
mate.
think my
I don't
my
even know what
biggest
the hell
issue-
you're on about. That's such a weird gripe.
Watch it again. Watch it again, and watch.
I
His
do remember
movements.
that.
I
Like,
still
he
probably
does-
won't pick up on it.
Watch his movements when he's not fighting. So when
I
he's
think my
fighting,
biggest
he's
issue-
brilliant fighting, but when he's not, he does too much.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
why.
think
Quite
my-
possibly the most
my biggest
ripped
issue-
man in a movie I've ever seen as well. Sorry, Calvin, but
Oh yeah, it's
Good Lord, he
ridiculous.
was-
He
he was
yeah,
negative body
I'll come
fat.
back to.
yeah.
Yeah, but he looks so like skinny and nothing in his suit, and then as
Yeah,
soon as
and
he took it off, I was like, Jesus Christ, who is oiling that man up?
his
Yeah,
shoulders had
but-
abs.
But going back to the character, my biggest issue is that the main character by the end felt like he didn't really need to be in the film, and he was a new addition. And I felt like he was only put in
Yeah.
it to sort of serve as the audience's eyes, so
Yeah,
he
pretty
can
much.
be someone to explain stuff to, so then we understand.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, like going back to what I said earlier, I personally feel that the film could have been a better and actually decent film if Scorpion was the main character,
Mhm.
and it was just straight up even a simpler plot than it already had, just a simple revenge plot.
Yeah.
Trying to get Sub-Zero. I think it felt weird to me that they spent the first 10 minutes, which I thought was a great sequence, establishing so much empathy with him, and I actually felt something with the character for him not to be the main character at all and only show up at the end, which I feel like was done for fan service purposes, because like shit, we haven't got Scorpion in this film. We're gonna have to bring him in for the end fight. Yeah, I just feel like they could actually create quite a compelling story surrounding his character, and you could really, but what I mean is like sort of dial back, maybe, because I do think it suffers from having too many of the characters and not exploring them enough. But I do feel then they go into tread the area of not being faithful to the source material, and a lot of like long time fans would get annoyed that they wouldn't be seeing this huge roster of characters.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I feel like I would actually look forward to literally a bare bones Scorpion is after, like, you know, after these people who took so much from him. I just feel that that's a good story.
Yeah, it helps as well that you've got I'm probably going to butcher his name, and I apologize. Hiroyuki Sanada, who's
He's Scorpion.
He's Scorpion, yeah, and
Yeah,
you'll
he's at
recognise
the
it,
end
he's-
game.
yeah, he's in
Yakuza guy, isn't he? Yeah.
yeah, he's in Endgame, he's in Sunshine, Rush Hour, The Wolverine, Last Samurai, and every time he pops up, he just brings such a what's the word? I don't want to use gravitas, but yeah, there we go.
Gravitas.
Yeah,
Energy.
he just I love seeing him in any movie. So for him playing Scorpion, I did want more of him. But I thought it was nice how they bookended the movie with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I thought that worked well, and
They never explain how he gets there though.
he has risen
It's
from
The
hell
knife.
He
to
just
kill him.
Just shows up.
The
It's
coolest.
something to do. It's
it's the
something to do with the
knife.
kunai.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. It was cool, but I was like, where did he come from?
He's risen from hell.
Hell.
We know he's come from hell. I know he's come from
that
hell.
bit was
But he's been in hell for a very long time.
that
Why
bit
was
was
he picked
ridiculous.
That's one of the
now?
coolest
For sure.
fucking lines I've ever heard in a movie.
Yeah,
Where I've risen from hell to kill you. I was like,
Yeah, I died. I went to hell, and I've just been. Apparently, anyone can leave at any time. So and now I'm back.
I guess
It
it
does
was
fuck
something
you
to
up.
do
He
with
did have
the
a really
knife and the
cool
blood
bit
on the knife.
that I really enjoyed when he gets him and he goes, "Get over here." I was like, yes,
Brilliant.
I know that's a reference. I love it.
I loved all that shit when he
I
says
didn't
that.
like all of it.
When they were announcing all of their like stuff.
Yeah.
they like they
I
said
was-
like fatality and stuff.
Fatality.
There was
Is
one
Is
I
that when?
didn't
Is
like.
that when Jax like slaps that thing's head? He,
It's fatality.
Yeah, he goes like,
Yeah.
yeah, ridiculous.
Incredible. I was there for all of that.
Yeah, I liked it when
they
Kano
were-
did it at the start when he was like, Kano wins. I
Kano
was like,
wins. I loved it.
But there was a bit of it. I think there was one that I didn't think.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the
flawless
victory.
victory.
That didn't
Nah.
work.
That
I
was
don't think-
great.
I don't think he would
Yeah,
say
I
it.
like that. Yeah.
I don't think that guy would have said it.
You're kidding.
But-
He was so obnoxious.
No, I don't know.
If
Speaking of
anyone was going to
references,
say it
I
was
think
going to
there
be
was
Kung Lao.
too many pop culture references. And the only reason I think that is because they all came from one character.
Kano.
I love Kano, but he was calling people fucking Harry Potter and David Copperfield.
I like that.
And I feel like
Yeah.
it's just too much at some point.
Kano really stole this.
Yeah, he was
I
the best
thought,
character. for me.
yeah. And I was afraid
Yeah,
it was bordering over into, is it gonna be too much? And every time, Josh Lawson's delivery just really made it work.
Yeah,
Every
he was
time
great.
it just got funnier.
He really lent in to being the comic relief, but his character actually delivered a surprising amount of like weight to what he was saying. Like, you know, he was always a joker, but when he was angry, you actually felt he was angry. Yeah, I feel like he sort of, as soon as he came into it, I was a bit more on board.
Yeah,
because the main character is boring. Like we haven't even spoken about it really.
Cole Young, played by is it Lewis Tan? So he has been made up for the movie, like you said, Calvin, just to basically be the audience, the surrogate. So everything can be explained to him, so that we understand what Mortal Kombat is. And I get that's fine. I wish you could have just put Liu Kang in that role, because if Mortal Kombat does have a protagonist, it is Liu Kang. So and Ludi Lin, I thought Reese, you didn't like Ludi Lin, but I thought he was great. Maybe not great, but serviceable enough. He could have been the protagonist for this. I didn't think we needed the Cole Young character. I was very confused of his relation to Scorpion.
Just his great grandson or something.
The guys who I watched it with as well were like, "Oh, is it his son?" I was like, "No, it was centuries ago."
No, he's like just
because he said he takes the Raiden takes the baby.
In the 1980s.
Yeah, exactly.
Raiden takes the baby, and then like I was just like, "Oh, cool." So this bloke is his son, and then later on, Sub-Zero's like, "I killed him centuries ago," and I was like, "It was like 20 years ago, mate." I was like, "It wasn't centuries ago, idiot." And then like when Raiden explains, I was like, "Oh, that was just needlessly confusing."
Yeah, I don't.
Well, you led me to believe.
I think that you could just literally look at the architecture and what they were wearing in the opening scene to know that it wasn't 20 years ago.
I don't know.
Looks like feudal Japan.
Yeah, I don't know. 90s. I don't know much about history.
Out in the forest with his wife. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know his life.
I also think that the main characters, it's weird to say in this, because I do feel like if they flesh this out a little bit more, it could be a bit better. But I feel like the main characters, the main villains, obviously, in the games they're one note, and in this they're one note. But I don't feel like it really works. It works better in a game than it does for a film.
Yeah.
And I can't remember much about the stories from the games, but like I wanted to know more about it. It probably comes into the lore of it more, but I don't know it. And I want to learn more about like why Scorpions and Sub-Zeros, like clans or whatever, have this random feud. Why are the villains evil just for the sake of being evil? Why do they want to take over the Earth? Like, why do they want that? And I know we shouldn't really be asking this from this sort of type of film, but I feel like, you know, it's to be taken like very lightly. But I honestly think there was potential there for something more, which obviously watching this I was so surprised at, and now it's left me wanting more. Like I feel like it does have potential. I don't think it'll ever go to the point where it makes a really, really good film, but I feel like there's little hints of potential there.
Yeah, it definitely there is potential, and I think this could go on to they'll learn from this, and it could evolve into something good. I think the problem with this movie itself is it tries to be an origin story and like an Avengers team up movie all at the same time, and that doesn't work. I thought, because by the end, when everyone gets sent off to fight the other characters, I thought that it was a rush to the end.
Yeah, it felt really fast.
Yeah, and because when
you just teleport there to exactly where they are, and you kill them.
if Raiden can teleport everyone and anything, why doesn't he just? Oh, I guess he says he can't get involved directly.
But then he does.
Even though he does. Yeah.
That wasn't direct. That was indirectly, though, wasn't it?
I don't know. Getting someone to where they need to be.
Oh yeah, that's quite direct.
To kill another person.
Yeah.
Maybe he just can't be asked.
He didn't sound like it, did he? I thought the standout scene for me was when Kano, like, because there's this whole thing about unlocking your, what's it called, like your Arcana. When you're unlocking that, which I thought was cool. It was like you're unlocking like a special move from the game. was like, yeah, I'm into that. I buy it.
But then
So
there was
his scene where he unlocks his cyborg laser eye was great.
But then we had the scene of Sonya Blade unlocking hers, and she just knows how to do it instantly.
I got that written down. That was so annoying. She just
I hated it.
And she's like, "Use my arm cannon."
She kills Kano, and then gets like the champion symbol. Yeah, she gets the champion symbol, which she for some reason wants. It seems like a fucking burden. If I had,
I don't know why she wants it either.
I don't know. I really don't
know why she's searching for it.
Also,
she's just so
thirsty.
Yeah, she's got it, and she seems so happy about it. I'm like, this is, if I got one, I'm like, this is the worst thing ever.
Someone kill me.
Yeah, someone just fucking kill me. And then she lands into wherever the main character is, and does that mad arm laser thing, and she just knows how to do it straight away. And he has to go and kill like that. What's that four-armed thing?
Oh,
kills.
What's he called?
Goru.
Something like
that.
Forearm.
He kills that big troll thing in front of his
Goro. I was just pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, and then she does that mad laser thing, and he's like, "Wow, thanks." And I'm like, well, "How?" It took him so long to figure out how to use his.
His is pretty cool. I really liked his Arcana.
What the armor.
At the start they called him the human punching bag.
The Black
Panther.
Nice thing.
It did seem like Black Panther.
Nice little thing.
His
but you know what I mean?
All
these, because obviously when they were at this kind of underground temple thing, and they were putting Jax back together. Did no one at any point think to be like, "John, those arms you've got, if you try really hard, they're gonna get even better," rather than let this poor man struggle with this thing he's going through.
I don't think anyone knows that that's going to happen to him, though.
They put them all in, Calvin.
Yeah, but I think it's all.
Yeah, but I don't think they had the intention of them getting
How do you do that then? Just fucking magic.
It is Arcana. It is magic.
If that's his Arcana, that's a shit Arcana.
What? He's massive arms.
It is a man's head.
Yeah, but you could do that. You could skip that. You could skip that out and just give him good robot arms.
Yeah, it's so convenient.
What would his
Arcana happens to be whatever made his arms big. Like, imagine if they gave him those arms from the beginning, and then his Arcana was even bigger
arms.
It was so stupid.
But his arms could do something else so that they get bigger.
No, I guess because he thought when he got those arms, it was a burden, and he hated them, but they will become his.
But they didn't know
his power.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It comes from in here.
So they burdened
my heart.
So they didn't know that was going to happen. So they were just like, "Oh, let's give him these tiny arms for a laugh."
No, I think they just gave him the best. He did look a bit like a T-Rex, but I think they just they did the best they could with what they had.
I don't know. I reckon,
even though they're all magic,
I reckon they're all just pricks down there. Just laughing at him.
Yeah. They're like, he looks so silly. Look at him, thinking he was the big I am. Look how big he is.
Regardless,
tell him about the strong arms, and they're like, no, we won't tell him.
Yeah. When he popped that head, it was incredible.
Tell him we've got those arms in a large. No, the extra small is fine.
Be funny. It's fine.
Yeah.
So the fatalities, because Jax does his head popping one, which was sick. I think Kung Lao's was the best when he rides surfs Natari onto his saw blade hat and splits her in half.
That was as mental as like Cap's shield.
Incredible.
Great. How? Like, how has he done that?
He does it in the game.
So fast, isn't it?
Yeah. I
did
laugh.
It was in the ground, static, wasn't it? And then it just started turning of its own volition.
Yeah. It does that in the game.
Sand, so I guess it can turn into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, exactly. I did laugh.
I've never done that before.
No.
It's not supposed to make sense.
You need to unlock your Arcana. I did laugh at that because we've been watching Falcon and Winter Soldier because he's throwing it off his head. I just pictured Captain America with the shield just strapped to his dome, lobbing that about from there. That just made me laugh. So things just do what the plot requires them to, and that's fine, or whatever looks coolest. I was expecting a lot of gore, but I didn't think they'd go into like, as actually seeing the human anatomy as much as the games. And then when that happened, I was like, oh, give me more. I loved it.
I did enjoy it, but there was just so much that I shook my head so many times. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't really like, I don't mind there not being a tournament, but I didn't like how they essentially just had their own mini tournaments.
Yeah.
And they were like so fleeting. Like Jax beats, like who's he fighting? I can't even remember.
The guy with a sledgehammer.
Yeah,
he beats him within minutes.
Yeah.
And then, I like the guy in the, I don't know his name, but the guy in the gas mask.
Cabal.
He was pretty sick.
Cabal
was great. He was sick, yeah.
That was his, because I think it was just a stunt guy.
Yeah, the voice actor was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And it was, that, if any element of this movie felt the most like a video game, it was Cabal. His line when Kung Lao is getting fatalitied by Shang Tsung, Cabal just goes, "He's about to get his soul sucked." I was crying. This is ridiculous.
What did you say? I enjoy the scream just before.
Yeah, like, I was like, this is great. This is great. So dumb. I loved it. His movement as well. She's like a speedster, I guess. Yeah. I thought that was really cool the way they did that. It felt, because we get a lot of fast people in movies now. We've got 2 Quicksilvers, a Flash, all that, a Dash, and I thought his was visually just quite visually quite fresh. And again, I thought that one of the biggest examples of the CGI and the sci-fi elements working well with the fight choreography.
It'd have been fucked if one of those aliens from Justice League was there though.
Sharpshooters.
Yeah, fucking American sniper.
I just had to deal with a big flame dragon. I'm just
still in awe of it. In your list of famous speedsters, you brought out Dash from The Incredibles.
I'm surprised I didn't mention him earlier. He's great.
He saved the world twice, Jack.
Just feel like you were clutching at straws with Dash, but yeah.
No, you're just a bigot against animated characters.
Didn't even say sorry.
You're an animated bigot.
I always knew it.
Yeah, they always said that about you at school.
Yeah, the movie ends quite abruptly.
I am very excited though, because I'm very
excited. Johnny Cage.
Obviously, he's going to find Johnny Cage, and I read that The Miz wants to play him, and The Miz is a WWE wrestler.
Yeah.
And
if you go,
I genuinely think he would make an awesome Johnny Cage. It would be so good as Johnny Cage.
I saw it on Twitter the other day. Someone suggested he'd never do it. He's way above this, but Chris Evans as Johnny Cage would be fucking perfect. Chris Evans from Scott Pilgrim as Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
If you go on Letterboxd,
maybe he would do it.
Zachary Levi. It says on the cast list that Zachary Levi.
Oh,
on Letterboxd.
I just don't know who else they're gonna.
No, he kind of looks like Johnny Cage.
Yeah, but I don't know who else they're gonna. What other characters they're gonna bring into it? Because obviously,
maybe
kind of got the big ones, haven't they, in this one?
Oh, but no, there's so many more.
I know there's more, but I feel like the big ones are in this one, surely.
Yeah,
maybe only a few. Like the roster's up to like 30.
Isn't there
maybe
one
Chris Evans would do it?
Or is that Tekken?
Do you think?
No, that's Tekken. Yeah.
About the panda. Is that Tekken as well?
That's Tekken as well.
Stop staying on Tekken, Jack.
You didn't do your research.
I want, is it Aaron Knight? Is that his name? He's just a cowboy. I think we meant those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'd be cool.
Yeah. Chris Evans was in not another team movie, so wouldn't be surprised if
years ago.
Yeah, he wasn't doing Cap 1 and 2 and being like, you know what?
Not forgiving it. Not
before he saved the universe.
What's he doing now though? Nothing. No, just get him in.
Showing his dick on Instagram.
Yeah, and chatting up Lizzo.
I think she was chatting him up. Yeah. Any more thoughts on Mortal Kombat? Anything we want to get out before we, or if we?
Anything you want to forever hold your peace?
You know what? I don't like that it was written down on the inside of that cave, just as Mortal Kombat.
I like that. It was like, well, it's spelled wrong.
So stupid.
But why don't you get this movie?
It was stupid. It was stupid, but I was like, yeah, it's Mortal Kombat, innit? But
you've got it.
They didn't even try. They weren't like, we've
got to be the caveat.
And we deciphered it, and it said Mortal Kombat. They were like, no, look, in almost perfect English, it says Mortal Kombat on a wall.
Yes, that's so true. Actually,
that's why your class is almost perfect English.
I almost. You only got what? You spent what? One word wrong? Out of two.
One out of two words.
Yeah,
that's 50%.
Who's to say?
But it's 50% wrong as well.
Who's to say that back then?
Yeah, but
they did
50% in uni didn't have to pass, in it. So,
who's to say that back in the day, they all the way back then, combat wasn't spelled with a K? We don't know.
It wasn't.
There you go, Reese. There's your answer.
There you go. Calvin, our resident linguist. It wasn't. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, you can say that, Reese, but it fucking wasn't, okay? Eat shit.
Right, ratings, Jack.
I think I'm gonna go with. I'm either five.
There we go.
5. I'm gonna go with a 5.
I beg you start thinking about these ratings before we record.
I've been thinking about it.
First, I don't.
I've been thinking about it while we've been speaking. And I was thinking maybe 5 or 6, and I was like, 6 seems too generous for mine. You all seem to have enjoyed it more than I did. So I feel like 5, because it was fine. I could take it or leave it. Again, I thought it was going to be absolute shite. And it wasn't. Yeah, unwatchable bilge. But yeah, I think if they can do another one, hopefully they'll like work out some of the kinks with it. And I think it would just be cool to actually, like, again, I didn't really mind that we didn't have the Mortal Kombat, but like, I want to see it. So if they do another one, get them in.
Sweet. Reese?
6.5, I think. So not sick, but also not shit.
Is 7 sick?
That goes against your scale.
No, I said just now, in between is ill.
This is ill.
This movie was ill, bro.
This movie is ill. No, because it wasn't perfect. It was never going to be.
No.
It was stupid and it was ridiculous. But so are those games. So, I think, they kind of set out with a goal. I think they did it. I look forward forward to see where it goes next. Like, you could have watched this and been like, right, this is it now. But I'm actually like, you know what? I could watch 3 more movies.
Great. Carmen?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a 6. I think that is actually really high praise for this. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I think the mixture between good effects and actual choreographed action paid off really well. So yeah, I think this deserves a 6.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 6. It wasn't perfect, but this was, as video game movies go, this was of the top tier. This was a
6.
Well,
as video game movies go,
yeah, what's the best video game?
This was in the top tier.
Like what? Resident Evil, and that's probably like what?
No,
you're saying that's top tier.
You're saying Resident Evil's a 7 or 8.
They're video game movies, yeah.
Oh,
the first Resident Evil. We'll ignore the rest.
Okay, we'll do a separate episode on
that. That's what we'll get. We'll get loaded for. We'll get loaded for the Resident Evil movies. I'd need to have
I don't even know how many of them are on. How much are there? 6 of them?
More than that.
No, there's not more than 6.
But it feels like more.
Yeah, they all were exactly the same.
They went off the rails a bit, didn't they?
I think they started off the rails.
Before the first one.
Nah,
they never got on the track.
First one was pretty good, man. First one was solid. And then it goes pretty badly.
So it wasn't even ill or sick. It was just solid.
It was solid, yeah.
You need to figure out this rating.
I need to refine
The scales all over the place.
this
You're changing it to fit to meet your means. Initially, it was sick or shit, and now it's ill.
It's my scale. I can do what I want.
No,
fine tune it for next week.
You defined the scale in the previous episode. Now, what are we without rigid rules? We're just animals.
This is chaos.
We're just feral animals.
Feral beavers. And that's the show, guys. Thank you as always for watching. You can head to Twitter and follow us at Keeping It Real UK. From there, you can find links to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Please like, rate, and subscribe where you can. It helps out massively. Hit that bell icon if you want to be notified when new episodes go up on Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll be back on Monday for our review of Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. Until then, please share us around if you enjoy. And as always, keep it real.